I have been swimming inward and no longer drowning. I have been seeking the answers within myself. The more you try to please people, the more they get control of you, and you'll end up hurting yourself. Sometimes it's better to stop trying to make sense of things. Life isn't clear-cut. There are always gray areas. Mankind is made of two kinds of people: wise people who know they're fools, and fools who think they are wise. To use your head, you have to go out of your mind.
No other success can compensate for failure in the home.
There were many terrible things in my life, and most of them never happened. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Luck is a matter of preparation, meeting opportunity. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always think back on all my goals and get instantly motivated. Making time to experience joy is the single most important thing you can do to heal your heart.
There is no such thing as a great talent without great willpower.
You don't need a compass when you are yourself a map. To be human is to be broken, and broken is its own kind of beautiful. What helps you persevere is your resilience and commitment. Too late, I found you can't wait to become perfect. You gotta go out and fall down and get up with everybody else. If your dreams are too hard to achieve, just achieve. Problems in science are sometimes made easier by adding complications. When you go down in flames, let it be a blaze that illuminates your path forward, guiding you towards a new beginning.
It's not whether you got knocked down, it's whether you get back up.
If you're horrible to me, I'm gonna write a song about it, and you won't like it. That's how I operate. Someone needs to fight, someone needs to sacrifice, someone needs to inspire, someone needs to be a hero. No matter what you do, someone always knew you would. If the highest aim of a captain were to preserve his ship, he would keep it in port forever. Respect and take care of the people. It's for the people. In return, you get respect from the people. Being afraid to take chances is scarier than actually doing things that challenge you.
If you are untrustworthy, people will not trust you.
Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. I need you to be happy. I need one of us to be happy. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. There's a great joy in living a life others rarely understand.
I'm glad I see with my eyes, and not the pages I've read. To a mind that is still the whole universe surrenders.
Weekends don't count unless you spend them doing something completely pointless. Life is like a beautiful melody, only the lyrics are messed up. You owe no one explanation of what you do, especially those who ask not to help but to judge you. Don't waste your energy trying to change opinions. Do your thing and don't care if they like it.
Do not fear the thorns in your path, for they draw only corrupt blood. Health is hearty, health is harmony, health is happiness.
Losing your life is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing is to lose your reason for living. Live and act within the limit of your knowledge, and keep expanding it to the limit of your life. The task of modern man is not to find his inner self, but to create himself.
There's nothing in the world that breeds success like success.
Success or failure in business is caused more by mental attitude even than by mental capabilities. Despite how entertaining certain stories were, at the bottom of every item of gossip, there was someone getting hurt.
Crying can bring relief, as long as you don't cry alone.
Life is a moderately good play with a badly written third act. The evolution revolution is here. Global sense makes common sense. I wonder how many people don't get the one they want, but end up with the one they're supposed to be with.
Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. Darkness ages faster than you'd think. It doesn't loiter on forever.
If a man confessed anything on his deathbed, it was the truth. For no man could stare death in the face and lie. What makes earth feel like hell is our expectation that it should feel like heaven. You are where you are right now because of the actions you've taken, or maybe the inaction you've taken. Taking on too much of other people's drama is just a poor excuse for not taking ownership and control over your own life. Possibilities are endless as long as you don't limit yourself. Believe there is a great power silently working all things for good. Behave yourself and never mind the rest. Don't overshare. Privacy is power. My hope still is to leave the world a bit better than when I got here. It's not enough to be nice in life. You've got to have nerve. Alive or dead, the truth won't rest. Rise up while you can. Do not set aside your happiness. Do not wait to be happy in the future. The best time to be happy is always now. Treachery and violence are spears pointed at both ends. They wound those who resort to them worse than their enemies. Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterfly. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today.
You can't understand where someone's going unless you understand where they've been.
When I was about 8, I decided that the most wonderful thing next to a human being was a book. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them.
Go to heaven for the climate and hell for the company. The more you face challenges, the less you fear them. Beware of the small things. A small leak can sink a great ship. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Truth is as straight as an arrow, while a lie swivels like a snake.
In this lifetime we meet and part like passing clouds. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. Prediction is very difficult, especially about the future.
War is a matter of vital importance to the state.
We don't meet people face to face, but waste our time on social media's embrace. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great.
Sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. When you change your thoughts, remember to also change your world.
Those at the top of the mountain didn't fall there. You will never follow your own inner voice until you clear up the doubts in your mind. Youth offers the promise of happiness, but life offers the realities of grief.
Patience is the only way you can endure the gray periods.
A hero is no braver than an ordinary man, but he is brave 5 minutes longer. The clever combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will to be imposed on him. It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief, as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact.
You must accept the truth, from whatever source it comes.
Inspiration is like perspiration. It tends to strike at the most inopportune of time. In reality, there are no persons, only threads of memories and habits. At the moment of realization, the person ceases.
Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
It's not always that we need to do more, but rather that we need to focus on less.
Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions.
Go on with what your heart tells you, or you will lose all. At times it can feel like the loneliest place on earth because it's just us, alone with our unanswered prayers. It should not matter, of course, that I could be crazy, because as luck would have it, fortune favors me. Be a lamp, or a lifeboat, or a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. You need to find a way to live your life, that it doesn't make a mockery of your values. Sometimes what seems like a destination is actually a bridge to a new chapter. It was not the feeling of completeness I so needed, but the feeling of not being empty. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Still, anyone who trusts a serpent deserves its bite. The wise see a creature for what it is, not what it says it may be. Art is the lie that enables us to realize the truth. The average passenger eats enough calories to keep them weight gain a year old for a week and a half.
The distance between insanity and genius is measured only by success. Behind every beautiful thing, there's some kind of pain. Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring.
One swallows the lie that flatters, but sips the bitter truth drop by drop.
The journey is what brings us happiness, not the destination. We don't receive wisdom, we must discover it for ourselves. The terrible thing about the quest for truth is that you find it. You often meet your fate on the road you take to avoid it.
For it is our scars that show us where we've been. Let them not dictate where we are going.
A lack of clarity could put the brakes on any journey to success.
Every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of world you want. Heaven wheels above you, displaying to you her eternal glories, and still your eyes are on the ground. All the stuff you can't wait to get away from, until it's not there anymore. And then you miss it like crazy.
Life is fragile. We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, so give it everything you've got.
Much of what was said did not matter, and that much of what mattered could not be said.
Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak.
I know because I read. Your mind is not a cage, it's a garden, and it requires cultivating. There is no harm in taking a step forward if you are not standing on the mountain's brink.
Always stand up for truth, regardless of who steps on it.
The day you become old is the day you're not looking for new experiences anymore. Good ideas stay with you until you eventually write the story.
Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Some use drugs to silence the pain, others use them to feel the pain they silenced. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body.
A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. It is easier to be wise for others than for ourselves.
Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed.
A man, though wise, should never be ashamed of learning more, and must unbend his mind. You must learn from your past mistakes, but not lean on your past successes. In order to make a precise decision, keep a steady spiritual connection. A strange thing, words. Once they're said, it's hard to imagine they're untrue.
If thinking should precede acting, then acting must succeed thinking. For them to perceive the advantage of defeating the enemy, they must also have their rewards.
Earthlings went on being friendly when they should have been thinking instead. The windows of my soul I throw wide open to the sun. If the emotions are free, the intellect will look after itself. Paradoxically though it may seem, it is nonetheless true that life imitates art far more than art imitates life. The worst thing you can do if you miss or need someone is let them know it.
I had to philosophize. Otherwise, I could not live in this world.
We can regard our life as a uselessly disturbing episode in the blissful repose of nothingness. The right thing and the easy thing are never the same. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs. He alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter.
A good completion takes a long time. A bad completion cannot be changed later.
Occasionally he stumbled over the truth, but hastily picked himself up and hurried on as if nothing had happened.
All things one has forgotten scream for help in dreams.
No greater gift there is than a generous heart.
There is nothing more frightful than ignorance in action.
The strongest people find the courage in caring to help others, even if they are going through their own storm. There's nothing more embarrassing than to have earned the disfavor of a perceptive animal. If all the people who were called crazy started acting normal, we'd probably still be living in caves. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour, whatever he does, whoever he is. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the whole.
Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts.
Our soul wounds took time to show themselves, and they will take time to heal. And healing requires compassion. To the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. With every part you act, there must be a little of yourself in it. There isn't, it's not acting. It's lying.
Apparent confusion is a product of good order. Apparent cowardice of courage. Apparent weakness of strength. The trick is to enjoy life. Don't wish away your days, waiting for better ones ahead.
Create your best life with your consciously chosen thoughts, words, and actions. Embrace the truth that joy does not happen to us. It reflects our mindset and choices. When the world throws rocks at you, turn them into diamonds. When you've tried everything and failed, try everything else and succeed. Only when compassion is present will people allow themselves to see the truth. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Sometimes we don't get second chances, Owen. Sometimes things just end.
Forget injuries. Never forget kindnesses.
All the world's a stage, and most of us are desperately unrehearsed. Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. I am inspired by people who are willing to confront the shadows of themselves and find light. Accidents happen. Our bones shatter, our skin splits, our hearts break, we burn, we drown, we stay alive. We all take a different path to the same place. Why we took the path we did will always be a mystery. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Some people are like clouds. When they disappear, it's a beautiful day. The free mind, unafraid of labor, presses on to attain the good. The easy confidence with which I know another man's religion is folly teaches me to suspect that my own is also.
To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace.
Reason is the power or capacity whereby we see or detect logical relationships among propositions. Those who grant sympathy to guilt grant none to innocence. Humility is nothing but truth, and pride is nothing but lying.
If you have the courage to begin, you have the courage to succeed.
The truth is not for all men, but only for those who seek it. I have so much to share with the world. Please be patient, and you will get everything you're currently waiting for. We are the sum of all people we have ever met. You change the tribe, and the tribe changes you. Don't only practice your art, but force your way into its secrets, for it and knowledge can raise men to the divine. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. Of life's two chief prizes, beauty and truth, I found the first in a loving heart, and the second in a laborer's hand. Sometimes you weren't supposed to share pain. Sometimes it was best just to deal with it alone. We cannot go far in life if we only take the path that everyone is taking.
Your own positive future begins in this moment. All you have is right now. Every goal is possible from here.
One morning, you wake up with more life behind you than in front of you, not being able to understand how it's happened. We hunt the flame, the light in the darkness, the good this world deserves. Small shifts in your thinking and small changes in your energy can lead to massive alterations of your end result. Summer is for surrendering, winter is for wondering.
You become mature when you become the authority of your own life.
Every time you help someone to achieve success, you become more successful. Always help to lift the burdens of others.
If those who are sent to draw water begin by drinking themselves, the army is suffering from thirst.
The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Everything in this world happens with a purpose. You are born in this world with a purpose. You are chosen by purpose.
If my life is going to mean anything, I have to live it myself. Let everything be allowed to do what it naturally does, so that its nature will be satisfied. There are routes not to be followed, armies not to be attacked, citadels not to be besieged, territory not to be fought over.
What doesn't quicken dies. That's an indisputable truth of life. The truth may not set you free, but used carefully, it can confuse the hell out of your enemies. Always be open to inspiration. You never know where it may come from. Begin with an open mind, end with an inspired heart. Anything that doesn't take years of your life and drive you to suicide hardly seems worth doing. The difference between greed and ambition is a greedy person desires things he isn't prepared to work for. Don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. The thing about a spiral is if you follow it inward, it never actually ends. It just keeps tightening, infinite. Time's stride so uneven, some days endless, and others like the blink of an eye.
The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. Everything, no matter how beautiful, is only with us for a while.
Don't worry about the challenges. Get excited about the rewards of crushing them. Real courage lies in being able to believe in yourself enough to try again tomorrow, even after a tough day.
If you listen to critics for too long, you will become deaf to success. You can be anything you want in the world. Just don't become a prisoner of hatred.
Never put off for tomorrow what is meant for today. Tomorrow may never come. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Whoever cannot seek the unforeseen sees nothing, for the known way is an impasse. A hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. Like a missing tooth, sometimes an absence is more noticeable than a presence. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. If you're going to kick authority in the teeth, you might as well use 2 feet. I was saying the right things, but not the really true things. Decide how badly you want it, then proceed accordingly.
Appreciate the moment of a first kiss. It may be the last time you own your heart. Show me that I am everywhere, and get me home for tea.
If you only write when inspired, you may be a fairly decent poet. You'll never be a novelist. One day, all those late nights and early mornings will pay off.
But man's duty is to try and endeavor. Success depends upon chance and environments.
Your own positive future begins in this moment. All you have is right now. Every goal is possible from here.
Enchantment lies in everyday moments if you are observant.
Don't find fault, find a remedy. Anybody can complain.
Your worth consists in what you are and not in what you have.
No dirt can touch me like an ocean. Everything that comes to me becomes clean. For it can never be that war shall preserve life and peace destroy it. I just want to do something that matters, or be something that matters. I just want to matter. Because even if the lie is beautiful, the truth is what you face in the end.
The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot.
For the world is in a bad state, but everything will become still worse unless each of us does his best. You can't change the wind, but you can set your sails. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life.
Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without.
I trust that everything happens for a reason, even if we are not wise enough to see it.
Power is not revealed by striking hard or often, but by striking true.
You are the magic code that unlocks your happiness.
We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. The man who has forgotten self may be said to have entered heaven.
Some people avoid thinking deeply in public only because they are afraid of coming across as suicidal.
Look for the good in every person and every situation. You'll almost always find it.
It had never occurred to me that our lives, which had been so closely interwoven, could unravel with such speed.
Until you have suffered much in your heart, you cannot learn humility.
Never apologize for burning too brightly or collapsing into yourself every night. That is how galaxies are made. If you start by promising what you don't even have yet, you'll lose your desire to work towards getting it. Do your best and trust the process. If you choose them right, they can open any heart and shut any mouth. As the questioner, you have the natural advantage of control. Perhaps the logical conclusion of everyone looking the same is everyone thinking the same. The most important questions in life can never be answered by anyone except oneself. You can't save anyone who wouldn't save themselves without you. It's the hardest lesson to learn in life. Take it from me. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them wisely. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. Unless you realize your true self as the divine, your life is meaningless. Value your peace of mind.
To have a human form of a joyful thing, but in the universe of possible forms, there are others just as good.
Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. Never underestimate the power. You have to take your life in a new direction.
Not every instance requires a response. Truth resides silently in the seat of power.
You don't need to understand what the world is. Just let your life flow with it and become something.
Great results can be achieved with small forces.
The life you have left is a gift. Cherish it. Enjoy it now to the fullest. Do what matters now. See yourself as you really are. Accept the good and the bad. Only then can you truly share yourself with another.